United with Christ. Meet local churches with open doors serving throughout the Border Valley community and sharing the truth and hope of God's love and salvation. A presentation by KSCE Channel 38 Christian Television. And now, United with Christ.
Good morning and welcome to United with Christ. My name is Lorri Navarette and I'm going to be your host for today. And I'm really thrilled about this show because we're going to talk about a ministry that you may be familiar with, Young Life, and also a new ministry that is about to start in El Paso, which I know is going to be such a blessing to this town. It's called Young Lives, and we're going to explain more about that as well. But before we get to our guests, I want to open with the scripture this morning. And it's found in 1 Timothy 4:12, and it says, "Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, and in purity." And I just felt that verse was really fitting for today because we're going to be talking about outreaches to young people, to teenagers around the city of El Paso. And so I just wanted to encourage you with that word this morning. And I also want to encourage you, if you have a prayer need this morning, if you have a request, feel free to call the number that's on the screen right now. There's people standing by waiting to pray with you, waiting to join their faith with yours. So I encourage you to call for any need that you may have this morning. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce my guest this morning. You may be familiar with this beautiful lady here. Her name is Kim Prieto, and she's become a very dear friend. And she is the area director of Young Life. And she has also brought with her Dawni Seymore, who is about to start a brand new ministry in El Paso called Young Lives. And we're going to be explaining about both of those ministries. But first I want to start with Kim and just catch up with you and just talk about Young Life and what God is doing in El Paso right now through Young Life.
Well, Young Life is an outreach ministry for those of you that don't know what it is. And we do an outreach to teens, to adolescents, and the outreach that we do is to kids that would never ever darken the door of a church. They're very disinterested youth. They claim to be atheists, and so we go into their world, the leaders do, and we earn the right to be heard. We build relationships up with these kids, and in time we earn that right to get to share who Jesus Christ is with them. And at that point we have something to stand on, and we do crazy things. We do this crazy thing called Club. It's a party with a purpose on Monday nights, and we're in 4 different clubs here in El Paso. One's on the west side for Coronado and Franklin, Academy West. We have a club at Bowie High School. We have a club for El Paso High that's Ciudad Nuevo hosts for us.
Okay.
And then we have one clear on the east side at Hanks. And so those, we just go into the schools, we go to where the kids are at, we just meet them in where they're playing baseball or where they're basketball, or even just hanging out at a skate park. We just go to those places and we invite kids to come do a party with a purpose.
And hear about Jesus. Yeah.
Yes.
How many schools is Young Life in right now?
Let's see. I think we're in 7.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember because, well, we are starting to get kids from charter schools that are coming into our other schools, which is fine. But so we have to count them too. But they're all brand new schools coming in, and so yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So Young Life is expanding in El Paso. And so what is one of the ways that it is expanding as far as Young Lives is concerned? Because I know that's going to be coming under Young Life.
Absolutely. Young Life is 75 years old this year, which we're very excited. We're in over 100 different countries now.
Wow.
It's an international ministry now, and which is incredible that we're getting to reach kids in different countries doing the exact same thing. We haven't changed what we've started doing from 75 years ago. It's a proven method, just building relationships with these kids. And 25 years ago, a ministry came underneath that was called Young Lives, which Dawni is getting ready to be she is the coordinator now for. And it is a ministry for teen moms. And so excited about that. Dawni will tell you more about statistics and things like that that's going on here in El Paso, and why we are so excited that it is here in El Paso.
Because this is a ministry that is really needed in El
Yes.
Paso. Can you talk to us a little bit about the statistics about teen pregnancy?
Well, statistically, and I just went to a meeting yesterday that when they gave their statistics, and they're much more detailed than the ones that I had earlier, they stated that El Paso's rates for teen pregnancy is more than double the national average.
Wow.
So although that could sound bad, it could also sound like here in El Paso we're keeping our babies because the abortion rates are lower. But there's a very great need for a ministry such as this for El Paso because of the teen pregnancy rates are so high.
Yes. So what exactly, when are you going to start, and what are you still needing to get this ministry started and up off the ground?
Oh boy.
It's like, how much time do you have,
Yes.
right?
Actually, we need a lot. We're hoping to try to have our first club by the spring, maybe March, April. Our hope is also to have enough girls to take to camp, which is in July. So we're hoping to have enough girls to take to camp. We need leaders, we need mentors who are willing to commit their lives to walking with the girls that we have get involved with Young Lives. We always need financial donors. We need people who will be willing to commit to praying for Young Lives, for its birth here in El Paso, for the leaders and anyone involved, so that God's hand would be on the ministry, that it grows in a healthy way, and that it fulfills what God's intention is for the ministry.
Yeah. And so how soon are you hoping to start? Do you have a target date yet?
Well, we're shooting for March
Okay.
for our first club. We're trying to make sure that we build the foundation so that when we do have our first club, we're completely prepared for that. We do not have mentors signed on as of yet that I'm aware of. So we do need to have some people come forward who's willing to walk with us and join with us hand in hand in mentoring the girls. And go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say in that, I know that scares a lot of people. They go, oh, I don't know if I could be a mentor, but I just want to assure anybody that would be interested in that Young Life is very, very good at equipping people by training. I get extensive training for my job. I'm required to train continuously till I no longer am doing this job or the Lord takes me home. Dawni is beginning her training now, and then what we do is we take that training and then we train our mentors. It's a very fulfilling job, so not to be afraid of it. It's just spending a few hours a week with a girl or two, and just talking to them. And a lot of these girls are being shunned by family, or they've come out of a really hard situation, and really it's nice to have somebody that will just listen to you, not judge you.
Sure.
And that's where we get to build that relationship up. And then, like Dawni says, we take them to a camp, and it's just like a normal Young Life camp, except for the fact it's nothing but teen moms, and they get to take their babies.
Let's talk about camp a little bit, yeah, because I had the privilege of going to Lost Canyon in October, and this camp is amazing. It's beautiful property, and I know that any young person that goes to this camp is going to be blessed. So talk a little bit about the camp for teen moms as well as for the youth opportunities
Well,
for that.
one of the things that we always say and we always tell kids is that it's going to be the best week of their life. And it is.
Yeah,
it
it
really
is.
is. We ask kids on the way back home, would you rather go to Disneyland? Would you rather go to Disney World? We pick these great places and they go, oh no. In fact, it's we can't wait for next year.
Yeah.
It truly is the best week of their life. And mind you, they're not allowed to have cell phones or any electronics. They actually get to revert back to being just a normal teenager where they have a normal dialogue with somebody instead of doing this on their cell phone. And
The way we grew up.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
and just building that relationship with other kids around them, and they make lifelong friends from other cities and other states and sometimes other countries. We were there one time when we took kids, and we had a whole group that was from Spain.
Wow.
That came in for camp there, so it was kind of cool that they got to meet those kids. So yeah, and Teen Moms, I'm going to let her talk to you about the camp there, because she actually volunteered as a nanny last year, and so she can tell you more about that.
That's a great opportunity
Yes.
for anybody interested. Yeah.
We do need nannies and mannies for the Young Life's camp, because they do get to take their babies. And during their fun time, we take care of the babies for them in the nurseries. We have several different nurseries around camp. They do take the babies with them during dinner time and their free time, I believe, as well. But I went last year as a volunteer. It really wasn't the right time to go, I don't believe, because I think that we had some issues there, and so not anything bad, but it was very, very rewarding, very difficult. For me personally, I was tired, but it was the best week for me. I felt like it was one of my best weeks ever, because you take a baby the first day and they're crying, they're fussy, and the mothers sometimes have difficulty letting go, but by the end of the week you've developed a relationship with the mother, with the baby, which 3 or 4 of the mothers I've stayed in contact with since camp. And it's amazing to see the transformation from the first day to the last day. And a lot of the girls at the end gave their lives to Christ, and I just cried, because you know their stories are difficult.
Yes.
And they, going back home, they still have the same life, and it's still going to be difficult, but they leave with hope and strength, and it's amazing the transformation that they have. And it was wonderful for me to be a part of that and get to see that from beginning to end.
And also the part of the reason they get to go to camp is so that these teen moms can have a break, right?
Yes.
They get to be a teenager
Yes.
again and
Yes.
get that help and support that they need. So when we come back, we're going to cut to a song right now, but when we come back, we're going to share with you opportunities on how you can get involved in Young Life and Young Lives. And also we want to tell you about a great event that's coming up.
Lord, you know my heart and all my desires and the secret things I'll never tell. Lord, you know them well. Though I may be young, I see and understand that at times like sheep we go astray and things get out of hand. So I promise to be true to you, to live my life in purity as unto you, waiting for that day when I hear you say, here is the one I have created just for you. until then, oh Lord, I will be content, knowing that true love will come someday, and it will only come from you. 'Cause I have seen the suffering that loneliness can cause when we choose to give our love away without a righteous cost. So I promise to be true to you, to live my life in purity as unto you, waiting for that day when I hear you say, here is the one I have created just for you.
And welcome back to United with Christ. I just want to share with you that if you've been praying about ways to get involved and ways to give back some of the gifts that God has given you, how you can pour into somebody else's life and be a mentor, we're going to share with you how that can happen and ways that you can get information if you want to help out with Young Life or with Young Lives, a ministry that is just getting started here in El Paso. So one of the things we were talking about earlier was the dessert dates.
Yes.
So let's just briefly talk about that.
Well, we're hoping to have in the near future a couple of different dessert dates, which in the evenings, which we would invite people to different places, and you will be able to go onto our website and see those dates also, and hopefully we'll get the word out in other ways also. But that dessert is just an information night. You get to come have a great cup of coffee, some yummy dessert, and you get to hear all about what Young Lives is and how the many vast things you can do to be involved. I mean, some people are afraid that they cannot commit to a couple of hours a week to just be there for a teen mom. But we show them what that really looks like, and Club for Young Lives is only once a month. It's not every single Monday. And so I'm going to let Dawni talk more about what she wants to do at that dessert. You know, I mean, nannies,
The
mannies.
kind of information, that you'll be giving at that meeting.
Well, tell them what a nanny and a manny is.
Well, a nan and a manny is a boy and a girl.
Or a man and a woman.
A man and a woman who would be our child care workers for when we do have club. And we do need those. So our club is once a month versus once a week, which is typical for Young Life. But we would need to have someone on site to care for the children while the mothers attend club. So during our dessert dates, we're going to introduce everyone to the fullness of what Young Lives is going to be. We will also spell out for you pretty clearly any opportunities to volunteer and to help and to join with us. At that time, like we said, we need mannies and nannies. We'll need mentors and leaders for club time. So there's going to be lots of opportunities to join in and partner with us.
And you mentioned training for any mentor or the nannies, the mannies. How long is that training, or when does that take place?
A lot of our training, what it is, and for somebody that's brand new at it, like when I start brand new leaders out in training, young leaders, It's usually anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks, and it's like a couple of hours a week, one night a week. And basically what that is it's sharing with them what our philosophies in Young Life are about, and we're very Christ-centered. We say that we want to be Jesus with skin on. So we really try to emulate that and get people to step outside of their
comfort zone.
well, in their religious box.
Okay.
Because we know it's not right for a young girl to become pregnant, and that's not what Jesus wants for them. But it's also not what Jesus wants us to judge them on either.
Right.
In fact, Jesus didn't judge the woman at the well. He didn't judge the prostitute that they threw in front of him to be stoned. Instead, he approached them with so much love and compassion and non-judgment that I think that's what we're supposed to do. I don't think we're supposed to judge them, and we're supposed to tell these little girls that, and for whatever reason they're pregnant, we don't know. They could have
Yes.
been molested, or they could have just been, intimate with their boyfriend. I don't know.
Right.
But at this point in time, once they're pregnant, we want to make sure they know who Jesus is, and that Jesus is a God of restoration, that he can restore anybody. And then not only is that mom restored back to God, but that baby from then on will be learning. So we're hitting 2 generations with pouring into them. So our training basically is very scriptural. We'll go through books together. We go through a lot of scripture. We go through why we do things a certain way. Young Life is, like I said, it's an international ministry, so we do have a phenomenal service center that has a great HR department that gives us everything that we need, legality-wise, insurance-wise. All of our leaders and mentors, anybody that has anything to do with kids, goes through a background check.
Okay.
This does not cost them anything. It just costs our area. And we make sure that everybody is qualified to do this. And really, to be qualified, you just have to have an open heart that you really feel the Lord has called you to do this. I know for a fact myself, I told the Lord when I was called into this ministry I'm too old to hang around teenagers, and I just don't have the energy, and I gave God every excuse. But when I really opened my heart up and let the Lord speak to me, that had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I had to listen to what God was calling me into. And thank the Lord I did, because I've been blessed a million times more than I think the kids that I actually pour into. So it's an amazing, amazing thing that God does when you listen to him.
You're exactly right.
true.
And I want to share with you about an event that's coming up. If you want more information about Young Life or Young Lives, there's an event that you can attend in 2 weeks, and I have a poster here. It's called What Were You Made For? It is a fundraising event, but our guests are going to be 2 beautiful and brave women who were held in prison in Iran. And do you want to just briefly tell us
Yes.
about this event?
These 2 ladies wrote a book called Captive in Iran, and it's Marianne Rostapur and Marziah Amirazadeh. And I can't believe I could say those names.
You did it.
And I'm going to tell you, I read the book, and the book to me changed my life.
Yeah.
And it changed my life in this aspect, and this is why I felt so compelled to bring these 2 ladies in to speak at our event, because they truly, in their book, share who Jesus was and who he is today. And how they emulate that perfectly. Like they are Jesus with skin on. And their story is incredible, and they have, it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing that these girls have done to give their life away. They started out not knowing Jesus as young adult Muslim women, and became Christian, and then wanted to share that. And that's why they were thrown into prison. So their story is amazing.
It is very compelling, and I know that if you hear this story, your faith is going to be challenged. These women went
yes.
through so many things in prison, and I did hear part of their testimony where they said that they were more free to share Jesus in prison than outside of prison. They were able to minister to prostitutes and so many people in prison while they were there. They were there for 9 months, and I know that their story is really going to bless you. So
One of my favorite parts about them sharing with these women in prison was they never judged them. They loved them so well, and these women could not understand. How can you love me that way? Like, don't you know who I am? Don't you know what I've done? And they never, ever judged. They loved them so well that those women soon said, I want what you have.
well, we want to invite you to come to this event. If you want more information, you can call Kim Prieto directly, or you can send her an email. The phone number and email are going to be on the screen, but Kim's email is kim@elpaso.younglife.org, or you can call her phone number at 276-3767 and get more information about how you can get tickets to this event. It's going to be on Thursday, February 25th at 11 a.m. at the Wyndham Hotel, and we're going to serve a beautiful luncheon, and then the girls are going to come up and speak, and you're just going to hear the vision. You're going to hear their powerful testimony, and also you're going to hear the vision of Young Life and Young Lives and how you can get involved, what opportunities there are for you to serve in this city and to reach out to kids that really need someone to come alongside them and just love them and be a part of their life. So we thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank Kim and Dawni for joining me
Thank you
today
for having us.
and
Thank
sharing
you.
your vision for young people. It's inspiring what you all do. And is there any last thing you want to say?
Yes, I just want to say real quickly that it's not just Young Lives and Young Life. We also have Wildlife, which is 6th,
Yeah.
7th, and 8th graders. And then we also have Capernaum, which is for special needs kids, and because they need to hear about Jesus too.
So this ministry of Young Life, it covers a wide variety of ministries that you can get involved in. So I encourage you, call Kim or email her. Again, her email is kim@elpaso.younglife.org, or her phone number, you can give her a call at 915-276-3767 to get more information about this event at the Wyndham Hotel or how you can get involved. Thank you for joining us today at United with Christ. God bless you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you for watching United with Christ. We pray this has been a blessing to you, and we invite you to tune in again tomorrow. We invite your comments, questions, or prayer requests. You may contact us at KSCE Christian Television, 2201 East Wyoming Avenue, El Paso, Texas 79903, or call us at 915-532-8588 during regular business hours, or you can visit us on our website at www.ksce.com. God bless you.